second. Not about your resume, not about your next big strategy, but about that thing no one teaches us to trust, your instinct. Because let's be real, strategy gets celebrated, logic gets the spotlight, and instinct, that part of you that just knows, it gets sidelined, dismissed, labeled emotional or impulsive. But I'm going to tell you the truth, nobody else will. The cost of not trusting yourself is your peace. So let's start here. How do you even know when your instinct is speaking? It's not loud. It won't demand your attention. It whispers through the tightness in your chest, the heaviness in your body, that unease you can't quite explain. You feel it when you keep justifying what doesn't feel right. When you say, I'm fine, but you know you're performing. When the room claps, but your spirit isn't convinced. That's not overthinking. That's truth trying to break through the noise. And look, just because you feel something doesn't mean you toss strategy out the window. Let's break this down. Because instinct doesn't cancel strategy, it sharpens it. Especially when you've been in environments where you had to lead while healing. So here's the deal. Instinct isn't anti-strategy, it's wisdom. It's actually the part that makes strategy sustainable, especially for those of us who've led through gaslighting, burnout, and betrayal. We didn't just develop instincts, we survived with them. We learned how to read the energy in a room before anyone said a word. So when your gut says, this isn't it, don't label it fear. Call it what it is. Lived intelligence, hard-earned wisdom, and build your plan around that. But what happens when you don't? When you silence that knowing to keep the peace, to stay in proximity, to make it work? Let's talk about the real cost of silencing your gut. 1, you stay too long. 2, you say yes when everything in you says no. 3, you perform, you shrink, you tolerate. And 4, you lose trust in the one person who's never lied to you, you. That ache you keep pushing through, that's not just burnout. That's the weight of betraying yourself every day in exchange for comfort, approval, or a paycheck. And I say this with nothing but love. You deserve better than that. So what do you do when you feel stuck? When the next step isn't clear, but the current one feels wrong? Here's where I always start. Ask yourself these 3 questions. And you can grab a journal or just breathe and listen. So here we go. What am I tolerating that's quietly draining me? 2, if I fully trusted myself, what would I choose right now? And 3, what would I do if I wasn't afraid to disappoint anyone? I want you to sit with that. Don't rush it. That's your clarity. Not a plan, not a blueprint, just truth. And if hearing this stirred something in you, if part of you whispered, finally, somebody gets it, then the next step isn't a leap, it's a choice. So listen, if you already know what your next move is, enrollment for PIVOTx is open right now. If you're done performing and ready to lead from alignment, not exhaustion, this is for you. Because PIVOTx isn't one size fits all. It's leadership that meets you where you are and walks with you towards where you're meant to lead. So tap in. Still figuring it out? Totally okay. Take the PIVOTx activation scan. It's not a test, it's a mirror and a map. And it'll help you name exactly where you are and what kind of leadership support you actually need. So find your fit. And finally, I'll leave you with this. You are not too much. You are not lost. And you don't need more time. You need trust in that voice that's been quietly guiding you all along. This is Dr. Marie, and if no one's told you lately, your instinct isn't the interruption, it's the invitation. Now it's your move.